Hello, I'm Avery or Hazel or Kylie. You can just pick one, I don't care.
Hello, I am Lily.
And welcome to the From the Closet podcast. Today, for our free film day for October 2023, we are covering Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. Obviously, this podcast will contain spoilers for said movie, so you will find a link in the description below to the Just Watch page for this movie, which itself will have links to every place you can rent, purchase, or stream this movie with price comparisons for renting and purchasing. Um, for us here in the US, the movie is currently available for free on YouTube. Uh, Just Watch does not always accurately show when a movie is free with ads on YouTube. Also, this movie is a sequel to Ghost Rider, which we have already covered as our free film day for May 2023. Um, Lily, can you real quick check and see if the first Ghost Rider is still free?
Sure. I'll do that while you're doing, your other stuff.
Right. Okay. So, also in the description, you will find a link to our Patreon where you can vote on future episodes of this show, as well as get access to episodes before they release, as well as early access to episodes of our sister show, Off the Shelf, which is about books, and is exclusive to YouTube and Patreon. Speaking of future episodes, you can join us later this week for Captain Marvel, and you can join us next week for Inception and Into the Woods. Have you
The first
found the
movie
information
is
yet?
free.
Okay,
Yeah.
on YouTube as well?
Yeah, no, that's where I looked.
Okay. So both Ghost Rider and Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance are currently free on YouTube. So if you need to watch the first one first because you haven't seen it, go ahead. And why not also check out our episode on the first movie as well if you haven't. But
Also,
yeah,
grab a bucket of popcorn.
yeah. Get yourself a bucket of popcorn because you're watching two movies now. You don't have a choice. Um, Also in the description, there will be a link to Anchor.fm, which is now Spotify for podcasters, which itself will have links to every platform that this podcast is on, as well as links to our Instagram and Twitter, where you can be notified when we release new episodes. But with all that being said, please get out if you would like to avoid spoilers, because we are going to start talking about the movie now. Okay, so I don't particularly care for this movie. Like, I know people really didn't like the first Ghost Rider movie. And I recognize that I'm in the minority, and I think you are too, of saying,
Yeah.
actually, I think that movie was good. But, like, this movie just isn't it. There's a ton of shaky cam, like, at the beginning, and then more sprinkled out throughout the rest of the film. And I really just did not like that. It reminded me of the Hunger Games, but at least in the Hunger Games, it was only in like one part of the movie, and the rest of the movie's fucking fantastic. Um,
There was also, time of the camera. Awkward camera angles as well. Also, just weird camera angles, like stuff that you'd see in reality TV.
yeah, and then there was some really cringe moments. Um, like I'm remembering a time where like Johnny is trying to hold back the Ghost Rider and it kind of felt like he was acting like an edgy teen. And I'm just like, this is cringe. Like, it's extremely cringe.
This movie has its edginess level just all the way up.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not the good kind of edge, it's the cringy kind of edge.
This is Shadow the Hedgehog video game level of edge right here.
I think you mean Shadow the Edgehog.
You're right, I do.
But yeah, like, there's that, and then there are some moments of humor that work in this movie, and then you have the piss flamethrower.
Which I was looking a few through Reddit on this movie, or just looking up um, some other fan receptions of this movie. Fan, no, audience. And I saw one, it's like, yeah, this movie is trash, but at least we got this moment as the piss moment. The flamethrower piss.
I hate that. It's one of the things that makes me dislike this movie more. Because honestly, like this type of humor, I think is the worst type of humor, aside from blatant like bigotry. Because I don't know why some people find that funny, but whatever.
I
Bathroom humor, like piss, shit, farts. It's not funny.
I'm still trying to figure that out.
What specifically?
Well, I mean, it's two different sides of arguments. Not funny versus people are saying not funny. Get off your high horse. I see that exchange a lot as still trying to figure who's right.
Well, I mean, for me, it's like I think the only people who legitimately find like this type of bathroom humor funny are like little kids. And I'm not saying that like to demean any adults who find it funny. I just can't find any.
I found one person, maybe multiple. I can't remember if that other person is into it.
I don't know. Just to me, it's like it's also like just incredibly lazy. It's like you couldn't come up with something, I don't know, a little more original.
I mean, that's also true. Like, it's just it's been done over. It's dead now.
Yeah. And this movie was in like I don't know, 2014, I think. Just
Let me
come up
check.
with a better joke.
2011.
2011. Okay. Well, that's yeah, that makes more sense cuz they like after this movie the Ghost Rider character rights reverted back to Disney. And then they put Ghost Rider in Agents of Shield. So, yeah.
I don't know if they're going to do
So
anything else with the character. I hope
I hope
so.
so. There are rumors that there's going to be a Ghost Rider like in mainline MCU sometime soon.
Hmm.
I don't know if there's anything concrete.
Though there
So
is
another
something that.
reason,
Hmm.
go ahead.
Well, this movie made me think about something. The character Ghost Rider is inherently overpowered. Do you agree?
In a sense, but like there's an element of like overpowered can be okay if the story is like written around it.
I'm not saying it's not okay, but it's just something I've noticed. Because he gets his power from Satan, the devil, and if you committed sins, he could almost just immediately annihilate you unless you don't have a soul.
Or you're blind, or you get off on pain.
Yeah, that last one is still very weird.
Yeah, but
But I mean, obviously, you're not going to be the main antagonist of a Ghost Rider movie if you're pure of soul.
yeah, like
So
I don't think
most of the
Superman's going to be
time,
fighting Ghost Rider anytime soon.
so most of the time, Ghost Rider will have an extreme edge against you. But it's also interesting in the way that Ghost Rider is a curse. It's not superpower, it's not like Iron Man, have Thor powers. It is a curse that you lose your, free will into this Ghost Rider being, the writer.
And yeah, and that's what makes the Ghost Rider character interesting. Um, like the fact that Ghost Rider's overpowered is okay because you don't really want this power. I don't know. I think
And
that's
I've also always wondered what happens to, like, where does he go after Agents of Shield? Like, and where does Johnny go at the end of this movie?
who knows. Maybe Secret Wars will tell us.
Hmm, maybe.
Yeah,
Like,
because that's
what?
always a possibility. Like, now that we've finished this duology, it's entirely possible that at some point these two movies become like a multiverse story connected to the MCU.
Which is part of the reason why we wanted to cover it to begin with.
I mean, there's also just the element of I've never seen them before, and I want to see more movies I've never seen. But
I
yeah,
mean, yeah.
the whole idea that they might become multiverse movies in the MCU is a pretty big reason for us to watch them.
And of
I just
course,
didn't
the
expect
reason
that
why.
they would be like free
Hmm,
movies like for us to cover. I was like what I was honestly expecting was for them to be dropped on Disney Plus like every other fucking Marvel movie. But no, that didn't end up being the case.
no, in fact, we were able to cover these early, extremely
Mhm.
early,
But yeah,
which is absolutely good.
yeah, it's definitely good. Ironically, we covered like the Ghost Rider movie very soon after doing Agents of Shield season 4. Although I think actually our movie coverage happened before that Agents of Shield season,
Oh
like in
shit, I
terms
think
of
you're right.
release.
Yeah, because we always do the movies like extreme. Sorry, the TV show extremely early, and the free movie extremely late
Yeah.
compared to the TV show.
So yeah, like I don't know. Like I'll go on record again saying I like the first movie. I don't particularly care that much for this one. It's it's not unwatchable. I'll definitely watch it again at some point, but like for starters, the first half of the movie is a drag because of like all the shaky cam, the cringe moments, and then there's even a moment with mid movie narration that exists entirely for the purpose of exposition. I hate that shit. We finally got a movie that actually does it in a way that I hate. And it's this one.
And it's this one, yeah.
Yeah. That is textbook lazy writing.
And then, of course, they just, it's just bad. It's, like, the entire first half of the movie, I was just not invested. In fact,
Right.
I half knew what the plot was. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
and
they
honestly,
have to find this kid. Okay.
I do think the plot is interesting. Like the whole idea that like this lady Nadia, um, like I forget why she made. Oh right, she was about to die. She made a deal with the devil to live, but she would then bear his child, and like that child was going to be like a vessel for like the devil's power. Um, but like like Johnny Blaze wanted to put a stop to it. The kid obviously didn't want it either. So like I
And
don't know.
obviously the
I think
mother.
Yeah. I think the story for this movie is good. And I also do like the score. Um like the like Ghost Rider theme itself is really good. I love it. But
Um, I
like
like.
story's not
Okay,
enough. You got
yeah.
to actually tell it in a way that's entertaining. And there are parts of this movie where it's not, and some of the cringe moments really just drag this movie down. It's mostly the first half that's bad, but like still, if the first half of
Well,
your movie's bad, a lot of people are going to stop watching it.
yeah. Well, what I was gonna say is I like the plot. Okay, like just on paper, what you described, I find it enjoyable. But I don't like how they got there. I don't like, especially the first half of the movie. I just could not keep up with how they were telling the plot. And I started understanding like more in like the later half. And I was like, okay, this is starting to make sense, but at that time I was already lost. It was a lost cause. You already had like half my attention at that point.
For me, like I felt like I understood everything that was going on like the entire time. It's just I didn't like how they told it really at all because of how uninteresting the first half of the movie was.
No, it's just I don't know how to describe it. It's a lot of just the edgy humor. Like,
Edgy
bro,
humor, and
this
then there's also the piss flamethrower.
this was written by like 16-year-old you know, black hair, they, make God, I can't eyeshadow, there we go. Spiky hair.
Yeah, and like some of the dialogue is like, I'm not afraid of you. Well, you should be. Like, what the fuck is what the fuck is this? High school?
Yeah,
Sorry,
no,
middle.
it's just
Sorry, I mean middle school. Because some
the
of this
dialogue.
dialogue,
Yeah, no, the
some of
dialogue
this
is
dialogue
just
is really just fucking awkward, cringy stuff that I would expect like a 13-year-old to write. And the way Nick Cage acts it isn't particularly fun to watch either.
I mean, I'll give Nick Cage something. He was given bad direction.
He was given a bad script, bad direction, and everything. It's like, I don't know. This movie, I don't really feel like. I don't really feel like there's very many superhero movies that are
Hmm.
worse. I do think Thor: The Dark World is though.
What about what that Green Lantern movie, or was it Aquaman? No, yeah, no, I think it was. You kept complaining about a Green Lantern movie that's just so bad that even like the main actor are credited playing in it.
Yeah, although to be fair, Chris Hemsworth also didn't like Thor: The Dark World, so
So they're both bad. Yay!
yeah, I don't know if we should cover Green Lantern at some point. I kind of want to
Hey, we could
just
cover
so
Thor: The
that
Dark World. Why not?
yeah, like I kind of want to cover it just so that we can get it out of the way and also get more DC content done. But like this is yet another Marvel franchise that we can knock off the belt, say we're done. Like
Yeah.
we finished the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy. We finally started the Andrew Garfield movies, and we're done with Ghost Rider. Now, if only we could just finish like Fox's X-Men universe, uh, and then get on to the Sony Spider-Man universe and the Spider-Verse movies, and then like the 5 different versions of Fantastic Four.
And then, of course, we have to cover, the Defender Saga.
Yeah, with the MCU, I don't think we're ever going to finish because I don't think they're going to stop.
Well, I mean, yeah. I'm just saying, just the Defender Saga, just by itself. That's another thing we have to finish.
Yeah, the Defender Saga, and then after that, we're kind of supposed to do the young adult series, but Runaways isn't available, so we'd only be able to cover Cloak and Dagger, and I don't want to do it that way. So we'll probably be stuck after we finish the Defender Saga, unless they make Runaways available again, or we buy it.
I mean, that is a long time away. What, do you say the Defender Saga is really long?
Yeah. But, yeah, there are rumors that Nick Cage will return as Ghost Rider in Avengers Secret Wars, but those are rumors. And from what we heard from Nick Cage, granted it was a long time ago, but from what we heard from him, he's done with the character.
And then I wonder if they're going to get the other person then that has played Ghost Rider.
The guy from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Maybe. Yeah. I do think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ghost Rider is better overall. Like, I even did find him more entertaining than, like, the first movie. But still, it's...
I remember someone was talking about how the Ghost Rider in this movie looked better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I can't remember, because it's been so long, but I was like, nah, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's wrong. He looked amazing in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Especially with his car.
So
I like his car.
So yeah, like, I don't know. Like, there's not really much to say here. Like, this movie's kind of cringe, but I will watch it again. So, like, when I was about, like, 40 minutes in, I remember messaging Lily saying that I didn't like this. But the movie does pick up in the second half, so if you're still listening and you decide to watch it, I guess don't get discouraged by the first half, because the second half does pick up.
Just get straight to the second half. There's no negative repercussions. Absolutely. Yeah, terrible advice.
Yeah. Put a big, like, /S on the end of that.
What? No, that was totally /serious.
Well, serious is SRS, which, funnily enough, stands for Super Rotation System.
Huh. Yeah, /super rotation system.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
But that's what I said. Tetris thing.
No, I don't know what that would mean in, like, text or dialogue.
Well, I mean, /SRS means serious.
No, I don't need serious. I need... My text is super rotation system.
Okay.
Whatever.
Honestly,
it rotates really well.
Yes. It rotates superly.
Is there any
other... I don't know what is this tangent that we're going on?
Good question, but I do want to know, is there anything else, like, Marvel-related that you really want to cover?
Well, that's there's the Blade series. There's the Blade series. I really want to do... There are 3 Blade movies that starred Wesley Snipes. And I really want to do these because Marvel is planning to make a new Blade movie set in the MCU. They've
Hmm.
already teased it, and like I think it's supposed to come in 2025. Although like originally it was supposed to be in 2024. So yeah, like there's that.
Interesting.
I do think you'll hate it because Blade is like more horror. Um,
I mean,
but
I never really much cared for horror.
yeah, we'll see. Like, I don't know. I've heard mixed reviews, I'll say,
Hmm.
about the Blade movies. We'll see how
I'll be
it
interested to
goes.
see. Yeah, I'll be interested to see where that takes us.
Um, Let me just double check my list real quick because I did put Blade down somewhere. Okay, yeah, like apparently at least the first movie is currently available on Max.
Hmm.
So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's kind of weird for it to be on Max in my opinion because Max is typically where you find DC's movies.
Oh yeah, that
But
I saw about that.
but yeah, like I don't know. Kind of weird, but whatever. All right. Well, do we really have anything else that you want? I don't know. We got to get through another 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's the problem. Um, I've just been trying to stall with like other talks about Marvel and talks about like what we're gonna do in the future for Marvel properties.
And I bet there are people who are kind of upset that we're doing three Marvel properties in a row again. But like,
Hmm. Yeah.
tough. Like, we
I mean,
didn't
to be
plan
fair,
this.
like
It just we didn't plan
I
this.
mean,
It just happened.
yeah, though they're all different too.
Yeah, like one was a Spider-Man movie. This is Ghost Rider, and then like the next one is MCU. And there are people who think all three movies are bad.
I only think that if I had to like list them, it would be I like number one, Amazing Spider-Man. Number two, Captain Marvel. Number three would be this movie.
Yeah, I think I have the same perspective too. Like I'm tempted actually
Hmm.
if we ever get to a point where we've covered every Spider-Man movie, I'm tempted to do a bonus episode ranking all the Spider-Man movies. Like
Ooh.
not like an actual numbered episode, but like a bonus episode where like it's only on YouTube and Patreon. Because
I mean, I
that's
can
kind of
make
how I want to
bonus
tackle
episodes.
bonus.
I mean, I can label episodes as bonus episodes on Anchor.
Sure, but I know at least some bonus episodes we're gonna have to have only be YouTube and Patreon because I really don't want to mess with
Copyright.
copyright otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't even know how we're gonna make the episode, but I mean, that's still like a while, um, a little time away.
I mean, that episode is yes. I am thinking about another bonus episode in possibly the near future. Um, Also, I just realized it's October. That means the
Yeah.
podcast is 2 years old now.
Oh shit. Huh. You're right.
I
Happy
can't
two
believe
years.
I didn't notice that. Like technically we recorded the first movie in August of 2021, but
This is
we didn't
when,
actually start releasing episodes until October,
yeah.
which is why if
Happy
you go
birthday,
back and look
guys.
at this that's why if you go back and look at the start of the playlist, you'll see the October free movie of the month before the August and September ones
And it'll be
because
really
we
confusing if you looked at it on Spotify or something. Because it would say December.
yeah, because that's even more confusing. Because initially we were just releasing on YouTube, and then we finally got the podcast on other platforms.
Okay,
God, it's been a
that's about like that's something that we should be like announcing at the beginning of the episode, not at the end. But we just realized.
yeah, crazy. I didn't recognize it beforehand, but whatever. I
Also,
mean, what are you gonna do?
there's a perfect plot.
I
Look, we
think we
don't
were
usually.
so focused on the fact that we wanted to get 3 episodes recorded this week so that we could
Oh
take a
yeah,
break from recording next week. Um, that we didn't realize this was like the anniversary, kind of.
yeah.
But regardless,
Oh,
I think we better wrap this up.
oh shit, we can. Yeah. Cool.
So, critic ratings?
So, oh, you're gonna have a blast with this one. Okay. IMDb gives it a 4.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 19%. Common Sense Media gives it a 2 out of 5. And 73% of Google users like this movie.
Can you, something I want to start doing is like giving the Rotten Tomatoes audience score. Because Google users isn't a really reliable metric of audience approval for a movie.
31%.
Because 31, okay. These scores make sense to me. I understand them. I personally don't feel like the movie should be rated that low. Um, so ordinarily, I would have given this movie a flat 6.0, but it has a Wilhelm scream in it, and it's a very obvious one too. Like they
Oh
don't even
yeah.
try to hide it. So this movie's getting a 5.9.
5.9, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I've actually had a little bit of trouble thinking about what I want to rate this. And then I got reminded of an interesting movie, The Last Unicorn. And this movie is just so chock full up of edgy humor. I would actually like to watch The Last Unicorn over this. So you know what? I'm actually going much lower than you, and I'm thinking 4.7.
I think you're vastly underestimating how weird The Last Unicorn was, because I certainly would rather watch this over The Last Unicorn, to be honest.
I prefer weirdness than edginess.
Whatever.
And
To each
also
their
bad
own.
dialogue.
Yeah, there certainly is a fair bit of bad dialogue here. But with all that being said, um, like like we mentioned earlier, you can join us later this week for Captain Marvel, which is a much better movie, but it's still not that good. And you can join us next week for Inception, which is amazing, and Into the Woods, which is pretty good. But with all that being said, I've been Avery, that's been Lily, and we will be seeing you.